we going?
Yes.
Of course. Welcome to the Success Society, episode 7-ish. I'm Heather Suchma, your host. I'm so excited about today's little meeting that we have together. It's Friday, not Thursday. I was sick yesterday. Thursday is my normal filming day, and I was sick. Today I'm still a little bit sick, and you know what makes it better? Tequila. So Lacey, what's this place called?
Frio to go. It's
Frio
right off
to go.
I-10 and 99.
I-10, and is that the one by the Salon?
Mm-hmm. Right by that.
I'm super impressed by this margarita. There are restaurants that we go to that don't have margaritas this good. It's good. So it's happy hour around the office here. But today I want to ask you, are you really ready to leave your commission salon? I think when people are questioning leaving, I think there's a lot of questions that they don't ask themselves. And let me tell you, I don't have the answers for everything, but by me asking you the right questions, you'll find your own answers and you'll be able to make an educated decision on whether you are ready to truly leave or not. All of these points we will have available on our website, thesalon.blue, very soon. Any and every tool that I can give you guys, whether you're coming to Blue Lion or not, or whether you're interested in leaving a salon or not, I want to be able to help you in whatever way that I can. So we want to, put these out there for you. Okay, and Lacey's going to help me as she always does. She's my behind-the-scenes co-host. Okay, the first point I want to make is the prep time. I would recommend doing a 4 to 6 month prep time to think about everything. That gives you enough time to see the majority of your repeat clients in that time. The first thing with that, keep your mouth shut. All of your friends in the salon that you think you are super close to, don't trust them. This is your business. Keep your mouth shut. Be mature and keep it shut. You need to start shopping where you're going to go. If you're looking at an open air salon with chair rental, shop those, shop salon suites, figure out where you want to go. And remember that you're looking for an upgraded experience. I'm going to go all in on this at the end, but this isn't about you. This is about the experience for your guest, and this should be an upgrade from where they're leaving now, no matter how nice that is. If you are at like the nicest 5-star salon in Houston, then you better find a really great salon suite to upgrade your guests to. Okay, so then you're going to look into taxes and an insurance plan. There's Eric Smith, if you go back a couple videos down, episode 4 maybe?
Episode 4, I think.
Eric Smith is a CPA who works with small businesses. He's actually worked with some salon professionals that are leaving commission salons, so he's amazing. And insurance, I actually really do have a great insurance guy. His name is Jonathan Donnell. I will post up his information as well. So look into that. Insurance is not that scary, so that's a next step. And then I think it's a good idea to start shopping local vendors and decide what retail line are you going to use and what color line are you going to use, and figure out the different packages that they have so you can figure out your kind of total cost going in. The next question you need to ask yourself is, do you know what your contract and or non-compete says? Most of us, when we sign those, have no idea what they said. You need to find a way. I know sometimes if you are asking too many questions, it kind of shines a light on you, but you need to find a way to figure out what your contract says, and you need to honor that. Honor your contract. Anything and everything that you do should be done with honor, and respect that. You should respect it because that's the proper thing to do. In all fairness, that company that you're with right now has given you the foundation, enough foundation for you to be able to move out on your own. You need to respect it, and they will sue you. Especially if you're coming from a really big salon, they're gonna sue you. Don't mess around. As you need to, if the radius is 5 miles, don't do 4.8, don't do 4.9, do 5 miles. 5.1, I suggest. Stay outside of that radius. They will come after you because they have to protect their business. Don't be silly on that. Is the computer? What is that? A camera?
Camera.
Everything's still good?
Everything's still good.
I thought I heard something. Also, so know your mile radius and respect it, and also know the contract timeline. Sometimes it's 1 year or 2 years that you have to stay out of that mile radius, so you can plan your business based on that. You have to know, that's the first move. You do everything by the book, so know what that says. The next question you have to ask yourself is, what is my clientele like? What % requested are you? Most of the people that come to you, are they people that are asking for you? Are you still relying a lot on walk-ins? Where do your guests live? Whenever I did hair, I worked in the Galleria area. I lived in Richmond, Sugar Land. My clients were in the Galleria area. A lot of them, well, I mean, I guess they came kind of from everywhere, but that location I know worked really well for them. So me moving back to Sugar Land, even though that would be really convenient for me to live right by my house, that was not an option because I wanted to make sure that my guests were being served and it was convenient for them. You need to think about, will your guests be open to change? And the whole thing is, they'll be open to change if it's an upgrade from what they're experiencing now. Remember that. You're going to ask them to change, but you're giving them more value in the experience, so they should be good to go. How connected are you to your guests? Do not, under any circumstances, think you're being slick and print up contact cards with your name and your phone number and try to slip it to them. No written evidence. Don't write your phone number on the back of a card. Don't slip them a scrap piece of paper. I did all of that. I did get found out before I left my salon, but everything smoothed over. But it makes for a really, really rough transition. If you've got pieces of paper, if you have evidence, you can get fired. So no written evidence. Also be mindful of which guests you're sharing the information with. If you're leaving, when you're leaving, how you're leaving, be very, very, very careful. Even some people that you've done for years that you trust so much, guess what? Especially if it's a departmentalized salon. I did color, so then they were gonna go see their cutter, and I mean, I've known this woman forever. Like, we are like this, and her cutter, she's only seen a couple of times. Well, guess what? That person can sit in that chair and gossip unwillingly, just not even thinking about it, not even realizing what a big deal it is. Like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do when Heather leaves? Boom, you're in trouble. Or if they just, people like, if they know it's a big secret and say they really like their cutter, or let's chemical specialist to a cutter, they're gonna say, hey, did you hear? If they have a secret, they're gonna wanna tell it. So be very, very, very careful about who you tell, because a client, I will not say her name, but I remember her name. She's the one who started the whole talk of me leaving my salon, and it's my fault because I wasn't careful, but be very, very, very careful. Even some of your most loyal clients will unintentionally ruin it for you. Do you have your guests' information, their formulas, their contact information? It's a good idea to keep notes on your phone. Again, do not write things down. Do not make it obvious that you're trying to keep their information. Social media is the best way to stay connected. You should have an Instagram page or Facebook page, wherever you're most likely to reach most of your guests. It should be a page with your name on it, and it should be a business page. And that's where you should post the before and after pictures, tag all of your guests in that. That's a perfect excuse for you to have to connect with them through social media. That's the best way. Do not name your social media what you plan on naming your salon suite. Do not name it Butterfly Expression Studio or whatever. Do not name it that, because if you disappear and they don't know where to find you, they're going to be looking for your name. You need to build your own brand. That's a whole nother conversation, but build your own brand. Okay, the next question. Do you have a family and a business budget? These are questions we don't, Lacey and I were talking about this before. It's fun to think about what color you're gonna paint your suite, what products you're going to use, but these are like the hard-hitting questions, like, am I really ready to go? Be prepared for the cost of opening your business. You have to form your LLC, you have to have money for your deposits, your furniture and decor for your salon, product investments, so all of your color and also your retail. You have to get your mini salon license, which is relatively inexpensive, your scheduling software, however you plan to do that, and you need to have working capital. You never start a business on a shoestring budget. This is why in this 4 to 6 months that you're preparing before you leave, you need to be saving money. Lacey, is everything okay back there? Okay. You need to be saving money. Things will get slow. You will have quiet times, and you need to be prepared for that so you're not hanging on by the skin of your teeth. I had something else to say with that.
With budgeting, saving money?
Yeah, something with working capital. Maybe it'll come back to me. Okay, so how much money do I need to bring in? You have to ask yourself, what is my family budget like? What does my family or my living, what do I need to bring in? So you need to know where those numbers stand. And then find out, ask yourself now, what are my current average retail sales? What are my current average service sales? My average retention rate? How requested are you? And how much of your clientele right now, your new clientele, is referrals? You will live off of referrals. So be sure that you're strong in all of those areas. If you are 23% requested and your retail sales are pretty low, nice 6%, and your well, that speaks to what your referrals are. You're not ready to go. You're not ready to go. You may be able to move and do fine, but I don't recommend leaving unless you have a strong clientele that you've built a good, strong relationship with. Now, structure and goal setting. Remember, Lacey, I think we moved this. Where did we put it?
Which one?
About being your own boss. So remember.
The very end, right?
Maybe, I don't know. Okay, I'll probably hit that again at the end. But you have to have structure, and you have to still set goals. Just because you're working for yourself does not mean it's willy-nilly. Oh, it's already in here. Mm-hmm. Okay, here we go. Okay, so with freedom comes responsibility. You need structure. If you come from a structured place, you see how important structure is. If you don't come from a structured place, you should strive for better. Either way, you need structure.
You're missing it if you don't come from a structured place.
Exactly. Your goal should be to create a more professional environment than where you're coming from, no matter where that is. If that doesn't, you could come from the crappiest salon and you know you need to upgrade, or like I said, if you come from the best salon in Houston and you're going to work for yourself, you better upgrade. You have to. It's not about your freedom. It's not about matching the professional experience with where you're already at now. It's about exceeding that environment. It's about exceeding where you're coming from. Where you're going needs to be better than where you're at now. You are working for yourself, which means you have to be your own boss. This is not complete freedom. You have to be your own boss. There needs to be a boss. So are you ready to be a president or a CEO of your company, even if that's just you? You gotta be a boss. The whole reason that you're leaving is so that you can do what you do better. So remember that. This isn't about making yourself happier, making yourself more comfortable, even though that may be the switch or that discomfort that you're feeling that pushes you towards leaving the salon. It's about being able to do better. You'll be happier. This is on structure. Ask yourself, what client forms do you need? If you are from a very structured salon right now, think about this. Chemical release forms, new client profile forms. I think that's really helpful. So you know, whenever you have a new guest, you have them fill this out with their birthday, their names, their husband's names, their cat's names, whatever. That's all great. And then you can keep all of their information in as well. This can be digital, this can be something that they fill out, but that's a really good idea. Do you have a cancellation policy? If so, that needs to be stated for them to understand. You need to continue to have goals. If you work in a salon and you don't have goals, guess what? Now's your chance. You need to start living for more. If you come from a salon where you set goals, perfect. You already know what you're doing. That doesn't go away just because you're working for yourself. So you need to have weekly goals. How much in retail do you want to sell? How much in service sales do you want? How many guests do you hope to have in each week? You need to set a consistent working schedule. Remember, this is nice. This should be a positive change. If you don't want to work Sundays, don't work Sundays. But then, all the other days that you normally work, those are the days you need to stick to that. Your guests need to know Heather's schedule is Tuesday through Saturday. That's it. or Monday through Friday, whatever that is. Set a schedule and stick to it. Just like where you're coming from. Your guests know what days you're off. You should have set days off so people know what to expect. Decide how you're going to communicate with your guests. Will it be text? Will it be phone call? A booking app? Social media? Stick to a consistent response time. If people know that they're going to hear back from you within one day, then they're not going to panic if you don't text back immediately. If you set the standard where every single text message, whether it be at midnight or 4 in the afternoon, if they expect you to respond right away, you're setting up unrealistic expectations. So be very clear about when they should expect a response. And I would recommend, however you're booking your appointments, even if it's by phone, old school booking appointments, if that's how you plan on doing it, keep it one avenue. So you can communicate with your guests through text, through social media, but when it comes to booking, steer them back to that one avenue, whether it's the app or texting or email. Just keep it really clean when it comes to booking. I keep saying, let me sip this margarita. I'm under the weather, I already said that, so I'm...
The tequila will help.
I'm so annoying. Education. Use the local vendors. Whenever I left the company I was at, I met up with a local vendor who sold Wella. They had this incredible points program. I bought a ton of color and a ton of products, and with that we started gathering all these points, and I could use them towards free product or free educational classes. And even if you saved them for a really long time, you could do like educational classes that were outside of the state. So there's really cool things that you can do. There's webinars. You can find tons and tons. That you're never going to be limited to education. The limit on education is going to be you. It may not be in your face. You may not have a monthly, cutting class, a monthly color class. You do have to go out and find that. But remember, you're your own boss, and you're a really good boss, right? And you want your employees to succeed, right? So educate yourself. Guest experience. You have to be structured in your guest experience. How are you going to add value to your guest's experience? Remember, they're leaving. You're asking them to change. They're not changing because they like you. They should be changing because you're offering a better experience for them. So if they're going to travel an extra 5 miles or 10 miles to be able to see you, what are you going to do to make that worth their time and energy? Define your experience and your business. So if this is all along that same vein, there's somebody in the same salon wherever you're at now that could easily take care of them. What experience are you going to give them that's going to make them come see you, that's going to take them outside of their comfort zone, driving to that same salon to come see you? You need to provide something that's so exciting and so wonderful and so worth talking about that not only are they going to follow you, but it's going to be so incredible and so different that they're going to tell all their friends. That's the idea. You need to set a menu, a service menu and prices. Decide what you're going to do and how much you're going to charge for it. Do not be afraid to charge a little bit more, because remember, you're bringing so much more in value. So you should be able to charge a little bit more. Know what you're going to do, know what you're not going to do. If you're only kind of okay at cutting or only kind of okay at certain things, don't do those things right now. Don't offer people things that you're kind of good at. Stick to what you're really good at and team up with other people who are really good at those things that you're not, and take good care of your people. You should plan for slight increases every year or every 2 years. Your rent is going to increase. No matter what, no matter if you're renting a if you're in a salon suite, or if you've built out a shop, like a retail space, prices go up. Your prices should go up. But the first question, how are you going to do that? What value are you going to add to be able to make your guests? That needs to be a seamless increase. It should be no big question that you're charging $5 more for a haircut, because you're providing more experience. So with your price increases that you're planning ahead for, what value are you planning ahead to bring to them to make up for that, to always be ahead of the game. I always want to be giving you more than you're giving me. That should be what you're looking for. Always give more than they're giving you, and you'll always win. Oh, why am I throwing that back? Structure. Now, where are we?
You missed the last point
Which one?
on page 2.
My page is on
Attire standards.
Working for yourself, weekly goals, decide education.
You should
Oh yes,
number 6.
set your dress standards.
Oh, yeah.
Just because you work for yourself does not mean you should wear sweatpants and flip-flops, because you can, because it's comfortable. Set standards for yourself that you will not break. It's only going to be good for you. It sucks, you know, you think, well, I'm working for myself, I should be able to wear whatever I want. It's not about you. It's about the experience for the guest. Remember that and set your standards that you won't go past. The most important question, and I did want to wait to the end to talk about this, but you have to ask yourself why you're leaving. Usually what prompts people to leave is not what it should be, but if you're unhappy with where you're at, if you want a different schedule, you want to make more money, that's really going to be the starting point. That's going to be the first domino. But your driving factor in leaving needs to be a positive change for your guests. It's not about you. Believe it or not, they're not coming to you to serve you. You are serving them. So if you make a change that's good for you, but that's not good for them, they owe you nothing. They have no obligation to follow you to some crappy salon suite because they should support you because you've done their hair for 10 years. No, you're serving them. You owe it to them to increase the experience. So don't get that twisted. Make every choice based on serving your clients the best way possible. It's not about you. Yes, you're unhappy. Yes, you want to change your schedule. We get all that. But in order to have a successful business, a truly successful business, I'm getting nervous now that you have my phone out. I know, I'm getting all nervous. I was on fire and then I got nervous.
Take another drink.
I know, okay. Like I said, just because it's a good move for you does not mean it's a good move for your guests. So when you decide that you're ready to move, fine. That may be a decision that's going to be good for you. But then every decision you make after that, you need to be thinking about your guests. You are serving your guests. It doesn't matter how long they've been coming to you. They have no obligation to serve you. You have an obligation to serve them. Your guests should not be doing you a favor by following you. You should be doing a favor by bringing a better quality experience to them. This needs to feel like an upgrade. I can't drive it home enough. This isn't about you. Don't expect to be successful if you're focusing on yourself and what makes you feel good. That may feel good for a minute, but you know what else makes you feel good? Taking care of people and making money. So you may enjoy your own schedule, you may enjoy being closer to home, you may enjoy a nice cheap weekly rent, but if your guests don't like it, they're not going to come back and you're not going to make any money. So I hope this helps. I want to give you guys